Hi everyone, good day and good evening to all of you. So by the way, I am Kim Gubat from Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Financial Management. And I am here to tackle about the chosen business that we have for this project, and it is the manufacturing company that produces consumer electronic. And this company specializes in producing smartphones, tablets, and accessories. So as you can see, we are assigned to forecast the demand about this company, and we assume that the historical monthly demand data is as follows, and this is in units. So we have a total of 12 periods here. This is January to December, and we have the actual demand of January. We have 500 and so on, and we have alpha value of 0.3, and 1 minus alpha value is 0.7. And as you can see, we only write a total of 12 periods. It is 1 to 12, and the actual sales that we have is the demand that we have here. This is already given, and we have to find out the naive, the three moving averages, the error, the absolute error, and the error squared, and the percentage error. And also we have to find out also the exponential smoothing, and after that the error, the absolute error, the error squared, and the percentage error. So from this given data that we have, this is 12 periods all in all, and the actual demand that we have. So we only write it down, the month and the sales, so that this is our actual sales. And to find out the naive, we only write it, the actual sales from the second period, and the second period, the actual sales of second period, write it down to the third period, and so on. That's the principle of how are we going to find out the result of naive. So that's the step. And so 11 as a 12 period, we have 600, because 11 period it must write it down to 12 period. And after that, let's find out the three moving averages. So it means that three moving averages, this is, we consider here the January, February, and March. We have third period that we considered here, and so we have the actual demand or sales on the first period of 500, and the second period is 450, and the third period is 480. And the result of that, we divide it into 3, because this is 3 all in all, and we have the result of 476.67. And after that, so to find out the fifth period, we considered the second, the third, and the fourth period, and divided by 3 in order to get the 466.67. And to find out the sixth period, we considered the third period and the fourth, and also the fifth period, and we divide it into 3 because we consider the 3 months here, or third periods here. So we have the result of 490. And that's the principle of how are we going to see the result of 3 moving averages. So and so on. So we have also the error here. This is to find out the MAD, or the mean absolute deviation, but my co-member or my co-group mates will tackle about this MAD, the MSE, and the MAPE itself. So it parts of their discussion. So in order to get the error, we have here, we minus the actual sales or actual demand to the forecasted sales, which is, this is the actual sales, the 3 moving averages. So we minus it, or we only subtract that. So 470 minus 476.67, we get the negative 0.67. And the 520 here, the actual sales, minus 466.67, we got the 53.33. And the 510 minus 490, we got the 20. And the 530 minus 500, we got the 30, and so on. That's the principle of how are we going to calculate the error. And the next one is absolute error. So from this results error, we only convert it, the negative result, to positive. And we have only the negative itself sa first forecasted sales, which is on fourth period. So we have negative 6.67, and we only convert that into positive. So that is sa absolute error, it resulted 6.67. And the rest, that's or those result or this result from 5th period to 12th period, these are all positive, and we only copy that on the part of absolute error. So, and from this result, let's move on to error squared. And from this picture, or we can see that error squared, we only times it by itself, or this absolute error, we use this absolute error to multiply by itself, or 6.67 squared is equal to 44.49, and 53.33 squared, or 53.33 times 53.53 is equal to 2844.09. And that's the principle of how are we going to calculate the error squared. And that's the result. Yan, we only multiply by itself the absolute error in order to get the error squared. And after that, let's move on to percentage error. So in order to get the percentage error, so we consider the absolute error here, 6.67, and we divide it to actual sales. So 6.67 divided by 470 is equal to, the result of that, we times it to 100 in order to get this percentage. So 1.42. And this absolute error na 53.33, and we divide it to the actual sales na 520, and the result of that, let's multiply that result to 100 in order to get this percentage, 10.25%. And that's the principle of how are we going to calculate the percentage error. And sa 12 months, we get 6.45 because we calculate the absolute error of 40, and we divide it to actual sales na 620, and from that result, we multiply it to 100 in order to get the percentage na 6.45%. So that's the 12th period, or that's the December. So now let's move on to exponential smoothing. So we have to forecast this demand or sales exponential smoothing. So we only copy this actual sales from the first period. So we have 500, or we only leave it blank there. So i-blank lang natin siya, or let's copy the 500 sa first period. And in order to get the second period sa exponential smoothing, we only multiply this 500 to 0.7, 1 minus alpha value sa forecasted sales na 500, and this 500 sa actual sales, we multiply it to alpha value na 0.3, and we get the 500. So we get the 500 because the result of 500 times 0.7 and the result of 500 times 0.3, we add those two results, and that result is 500. And so that 500, we multiply it by 1 minus alpha value na 0.7, and the 450 itself, we multiply it to 0.3, and the two result, we add the two result, we get the 485. So that's the principle of how are we going to calculate the exponential smoothing. So from this third period na 485, we times it to 0.7, and this 485, that result, just remember that result sa 485 times 0.7, and the result of 480 times 0.3, we add the result of the 485 times 0.7, and the result is 481.5. That's the principle sa exponential smoothing para makita natin yung mga result nila from first month to 12 month. So after that, we have to calculate the error, the absolute error, the error squared, and percentage error again. It's the same, but it's the same procedure, but let me introduce to you para may idea kayo na magkaparehas lang sila ng procedure. So sa error squared, so we only minus or subtract the error in order to get the result of error, we only subtract the actual sales from the forecasted sales sa exponential smoothing. And 500 minus 500 is equal to 0. 450 sa actual sales minus 500 is negative 50. And the 480 minus 485 is negative 5. And the 470 minus 481.5 is, we get the negative 11.5. That's the principle of how are we going to calculate the error. And as I said, when we get the absolute value, we only convert the result of all the error here into positive. And we have only three negative signs here, and we only convert that negative sign or the result of negative 50 to positive 50, and negative 5 to positive 5, and negative 11.5 is 11.5. And the rest, we only copy that because the rest result is positive. And sa error squared, so from this principle, we only multiply by itself. So 50 squared is equal to 2,500, and 5 squared rather, or 5 times 5 is equal to 25. And also 11.5 times 11.5, or 11 squared, is equal to 132.5. So I think you get the procedure, and let's find out the last percentage error, so exponential smoothing. At the same procedure on how are we going to calculate the naive and the naive forecasting from the error, the absolute error, the error squared, and the percentage error. So let's find out if they are the same. So 11.11, we get this 11.11% because we consider the absolute error sa exponential smoothing na 50, and we divide it to the actual sales na 450. And with that result, we times it to 100 in order to get the 11.11%. And this absolute error na 5, we divide it to the actual sales na 480. And from that result, we times it to 100 in order to get the 5.21%. And we have also here the absolute error of 11.5. We divide it to the actual sales na 470. And from that result, we times it to 100 in order to get the 2.45%. So you have to take note that you have to always times the result into 100 sa percentage error para makuha yung percentage itself. So I think you already get the idea of how we're going to forecast the following historical data on the demand, based on this demand. So this is the demand forecasting that we have in the business industry, which is the manufacturing company of the consumer electronics. So, and my co-members will be tackling to you the MAD, or the mean absolute deviation, and the MSE, the mean squared error, and MAPE, the mean absolute percentage error. So they discuss it to you later. So that's all, guys. Thank you for watching this video.
Hi everyone, so today we're gonna discuss about the forecasting method. So the first one is naive forecasting. So when you say naive forecasting, it assumes that the demand in the next period will be the same as the demand in the current period. It is a simple and easy to implement method. So for example, the demand of smartphone in January was 500 units. The forecasted demand for the February would be also 500 units. So the second one is the moving average. So moving average method uses the average demand of the fixed number of the past period to the forecast future demand. So this method smooths out short-term fluctuations and highlights the longer-term trend. So for example, if the demand for the past three months was 400, 450, and 500 units, so the forecasted for the next month would be the average of these 3 months. So we're gonna add the 400, 450, and 500, so the sum will be divided into 3. So it's equivalent to 400 units. So the last one is the exponential smoothing. So it is forecast future demand by giving more weight to the recent observation, while exponentially decreasing the weight of older observations. So this one has a smoothing constant, or the alpha, which determines the rate at which the weight of decrease. So for example, with alpha 0.3 and the demand of this the previous month being 500 units. So if the forecasted demand for the previous month was 480 units, the new forecasted will be calculated.
As I said, the chosen business for this project or our project is a manufacturing company, which is the consumer electronics. So this company specializes in producing tablets, smartphones, and accessories. With a diverse product range and a highly competitive market, efficient demand forecasting is critical to maintaining optimal inventory levels and minimizing cost, and also meeting customer demands. So to calculate the MAD, the MSE, and the MAPE, we have here the formula, and we can use this formula to see the result of the mean absolute deviation, mean squared error, and the mean absolute percentage error. So sa MAD, we have MAD equals 1 over N. The N right here is the periods or the months, kung ilang months ba yung kailangang i-forecast natin na demand or sales. So sa example, so as you can see sa illustration, we have 12 months here. And 1 over N summation of actual minus forecasted sales. So the result of when we subtract the actual sales or actual demand minus forecasted sale, the result of that, we add all the result. And that's how are we going to calculate the MOD. And MSE, or mean squared error, is equal to 1 over N. As I said, the N here is the 12 months. And summation of actual subtracted or minus to forecasted sales squared. So when we get the result of actual demand or actual sale minus forecasted sales, and we add that result, all in all result, we add that, and after that we multiply it by itself because we have square root here. That's how are we going to calculate or see the result of MSE, or the mean squared error. And the MAPE naman, or the mean absolute percentage error, so we have here the formula also. MAPE is equal to 1 over N, and summation of actual demand or actual sales rather, minus forecasted sales over actual sales. We divide it to actual sales and times to 100% in order to get the percentage. And that's all.
So let's go with the calculation of the first, or for the first few months. So we have first the naive forecasting. So in February, we have 450 minus 500, it equals to 50. And then March is 480 minus 450 equals 30. And then in April, 470 minus 480 equals, 10. And the total MAD for 3 months is 50 plus 30 plus 10 divided 3 equals 30. And then the MSE, 50 to the power of 2 plus 30 to the power of 2 plus 10 to the power of 2 divided by 3 equals 1333.33. And then MAPE, we have 450 minus 500 divided 450 plus 480 minus 450 divided by 480 plus 470 minus 480 divide 470 divide 3 times 100 equals 10 and 99%. And let's go with the moving average for 3 months. So in April, we have 470 minus 476.67 equals to 6 and 67. Yeah. And then other one is May, 520 minus 466.67 equals 53.33. So in June, we have 510 minus 490 equals 20. So we have a total MAD for 3 months of 6.67 plus 53.33 plus 20 divided 3 equals to 26.67. So an MSE 6.67 to the power of 2 plus 53.33 to the power of 2 plus 20 to the power of 2 divided 3 equals to 1120.22. So in MAPE, we have 470 minus 476.67 divided 470 plus 520 minus 466.67 divided to 520 plus 510 plus 490 divided into 510 and then divide also into 3 times 100 equals 8.51%. Number 3, we have exponential smoothing. So in April, we have 470 minus 481.5 equals 11.5. And then the next one is May. 520 minus 481.05 equals 38.95. And then in June, we have 510 minus 494.74 equals 15.26. So in the total MAD for 3 months is 11.5 plus 38.95 plus 15.26 divided into 3 equals 21.9. So in an MSE, we have 11.52 to the power of 2 plus 38.95 to the power of 2 plus 15.26 to the power of 2 divided to 3 equals to 720.33. So in MAPE, we have 470 minus 481.5, 470 plus 520 minus 481.05 divided to 520 plus 510 minus 494.74 divided to 510 and divided again in a 3 and then times it to 100 equals to 6 and 45%. So let's go with the importance of demand forecasting in this context. So demand forecasting is very essential for the manufacturing company. First is to optimize inventory management. Accurate demand forecast is help to ensure that the company maintains the right level of inventory, reducing storage costs and avoiding stockouts. Second is enhanced production planning. So this forecasting helps in planning production schedule efficiently or effectively, ensuring that the resources are utilized efficiently and production targets are met. Third one is improved supply chain efficiency. So a better demand production allows for smoother coordination with suppliers, leading to timely procurement of raw materials. And the fourth one is increased customer satisfaction. So this is very important when we talk about a business. So by accurately projecting a demand, the company can ensure timely delivery of products and enhancing also the customer satisfaction and loyalty.
So, good day, I am Patrice Desir Moncano, and I will be discussing which method was most effective and why. So, based on the metrics, exponential smoothing A is equal to 0.3 was the most effective forecasting method. It had the lowest MAD, MSE, and MAPE values among the 3 methods. This indicates that exponential smoothing provided the most accurate forecast, reducing the average error, squared error, and percentage error the most effectively. So the reason for its superior performance is that it gives more weight to recent observations, allowing it to adjust more quickly to changes in the demand pattern. So reflect on the lessons learned about forecasting and operation management. Through this exercise, several key lessons among the forecasting in operations management emerge. Importance of choosing the right method. Different forecasting method has varying levels of accuracy and applicability depending on the context and nature of the data. It's crucial to select a method that aligns well with the specific characteristics of the demand data. Impact of parameter selection. In methods like exponential smoothing, the choice of the smoothing constant A significantly affects the forecast accuracy. A balance needs to be struck between responsiveness to recent changes and stability. Need for continuous evaluation. forecast accuracy should be continuously monitored using metrics like MAD, MSE, and MAPE. This helps us assessing performance of forecasting methods and making necessary adjustments. So benefits of demand forecasting. Accurate demand forecasting is vital for optimizing inventory levels, improving production planning, enhancing supply chain efficiency, and increasing customer satisfaction. It directly impacts the operational efficiency and profitability of the business. Limitations of simple methods. While methods like naive forecasting and moving average are easy to implement, they may not always provide the best accuracy, especially in the dynamic and volatile markets. In conclusion, effective demand forecasting is a cornerstone of the successful operation management in manufacturing. The use of advancement methods like exponential smoothing can significantly enhance forecast accuracy, thereby supporting better decision making and operational efficiency.
The summarization of the findings based from the analysis, we observed following metrics for each forecasting method. For naive forecasting, the mean absolute deviation result is 30, the mean squared error is 1033.33, and the mean absolute percentage error is 10.99%. For the moving average, the mean absolute deviation resulted 26.67, the mean squared error is 1120.22, and the mean absolute percentage error is 8.51%. While the exponential smoothing, the mean absolute deviation resulted 21.9, the mean squared error resulted 720.33, and the mean absolute percentage error is 6.45%. Supposedly, the lower the results, the better predictive accuracy. But since the data or the results for the following metrics of each forecasting method resulted a very high value, which means that the company doesn't have a very accurate predictions.
I got broads in Atlanta, just to the lean the family. Credit cards and the scammers, getting the hooks in the bank. Legacies.